Quick meeting or a long meeting?
Should be quick.
That's efficient. If I showed up on time, it'd be quicker.
All set.
You ready?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. All right, let's convene the meeting. First order of business is the minutes of October 20th, 2025. Can I get a motion, please?
Yes. Second.
Second, a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Are there anyone, if anyone opposed to the minutes of October 20th, 2025? Great, carried unanimously. Next, we have an interim financial update from Andy. Welcome.
How do you want to?
I think you start, with the Saturday commentary, and then we'll move into executive session for
Sure.
the confidential.
Okay, thank you. So, beginning of page 5, you'll notice a new deck from the Saturday team. So this is going to be an analysis of what they'll be providing us going forward. It's a nice little amalgamation of kind of economic commentary, forward-looking market stuff. A mix of kind of all kinds of investments. There's even some Bitcoin stuff in there too. So, again, this is just kind of a truncated version of what they present to us on the year end and PR throughout the year, but as they continue to refine this, will be included in these distributions, so I'm happy to share these as they come out.
Is your gut sense that the Saturday team is going to provide more comprehensive services than?
I think it's maybe an evolution in their back office operations. A lot of what they've done for us is kind of through putting together things, not on the fly, but not with any kind of platform-based approach. I think the Saturday resources are going to let the Great Point folks kind of spread the reporting wings. And I think they're going to be able to.
I'm looking forward to that. It's great.
Secondly, we have the transition from BST to MOB to update.
Yeah, so we'd like to go into executive session, recommend that for discussion of appointment, retention, and dismissal of an individual or organization.
Second.
We enter executive. Is there any actions in executive session?
None.
Yeah.
And we're back in. Okay, so can we get a motion to come out of executive session, please? Second. Okay, all in favor? All right. And now do you want to make a quick report on what actions were taken or discussed?
It was just a discussion on banking services and no actions were taken in executive session.
Okay, cool. All right, next up, what's next up on our agenda?
Professional services agreements for 2026.
First up is review of CAC, IDA, CRC professional service agreements. Are we taking these collectively or individually, or what's the best way to do this?
We can take
I
them
think-
collectively.
Yeah, I think so. I would probably, again, your recommendation is you're gonna recommend these to the board. The board would actually be the one that authorizes the execution of these agreements. And I'm sure Ashley will give an overview of each.
Should we
of the
get a quick
agreements.
overview with a highlight
Standard, yeah.
of anything that's new, different, or deviating from standard practice?
Yeah, so for the three-party agreement this year, I believe this is the one that I could be misclassifying them. See it. The fee adjustment on this one, we requested and were approved at the IDA CRC for a 10% increase for this annual agreement. That was talked through with the chair at the IDA CRC and the finance committee and board in terms of, ongoing and increasing expenses and fees related to the services. Andy, is there anything else you want to add there?
No, I think the fee schedule is always determined to be a function of the volume anticipated and the additional management that's going to be involved with administering the grants. So I think this is just a proportionate increase relative to the expected activity.
And is that for our services, like the first agreement?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
the administrative staff associated with this grant.
In IDA CRC, the chair had expressed, preferring to kind of incrementally increase the fee adjustment. In the past, there's been years where we've sort of held it flat for a number of years and then had a larger single year increase. The sentiment of that body is rather to keep pace with the increased expenses as we can. So to do that incremental 10% increase.
What's the reporting process with the to the IDA for as far as service hours or services, do you keep track of that on an hourly basis, kind of or more just kind of a procedural basis?
It does stipulate, full accounting records, timesheets, maintained by CAC for all services, and keep record of all that.
We're in compliance with that, that's great, then, all right, and I take it from the fact that they're agreeing to this and increasing our fee, that the relationship's in good standing right now, right? Yeah.
And then the second agreement in your packet is the contract for economic development services between the Industrial Development Agency and Capitalized Albany. This agreement we have annually. This is the aggregate amount of $250,000. This is paid for in quarterly disbursements. And this is, like I said, related to the economic development activities taken on by the Capitalized Albany staff and the organization.
What's your discussion about the amount of this one? I think this has been flat for several years now, right?
Yeah, there wasn't any discussion about increasing this fee at this time, but I would know as a parallel note, that the agreement between the Capital Resource Corporation and Capitalized Albany Corporation, we did discuss, at the CRC, basically in relation to the grant programs in particular, administrative staff time related to delivering those economic development services. So you'll see that this is a new contract between Capitalized Albany and CRC this year to include a $40,000 annual allocation related to economic development services, in particular, the grant administration time for those programs.
What is the grant program right now that comes through the?
So all of the grant programs that we have, receive, CRC funding to be able to make them happen.
Is that the sole funding for that?
ACDA, previously through the facade program had provided a mechanism, for allocations, not necessarily on an annual basis, but on a contractual basis, had supplemented that so that it was like proportional. Like, I don't think we anticipate that ACDA will have the facade funding to dedicate to us moving forward. But we have tapped into things like ARPA and things like that in the past, to create either new programs or supplement existing programs.
Well, if. That's not the linchpin purpose of our corporation, so if there's not funding from those sources. Then there's not funding from those sources, and we need to focus on. Our broader purpose of transformational activities that impact the.
It is one of the main eligible activities under CRC, so to be able to use the CRC fee revenues for eligible purposes, it allows us to take the large scale transformational bond projects and be able to use those fee revenues towards smaller scale, small business development and entrepreneurship. Noted.
Not really, that's more of a board discussion than a finance committee discussion, as the finance committee goes. I think I'm good with it. So we have these three contracts agreements in front of us. Let's get a motion on the table to the person.
Motion.
All right, let's have further discussion. Any questions for Ashley about this? Any commentary? Great job on the. All those in favor? Any opposed? Great. Is there any other business to come before the finance committee?
None today.
No, other business. All right, is there a need for another you have another need for an executive session?
Not from staff.
Not from staff. Anything for you guys? No? Okay, motion to adjourn?
Motion. Second.
All right, we stand adjourned. That's great.